Right now, the National Weather Desk, new wildfires spread across Southern California, burning tens of thousands of acres.
A massive cloud of smoke, black, red, and it was hundreds of feet up in the sky.
After days of violent tornadoes, people in Nebraska are now cleaning up and assessing the damage.
The west side was blue, while the east side was gray. It was very bizarre and ominous.
The heat is on as records fall from Virginia to Maine.
A little extreme for it to be so cold, then so hot, but I mean, happy to be outside.
A Florida beach project designed to save sea turtles.
The water was all the way up into the bushes.
Plus, the declining number of songbirds and what's being done to save them.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. Crews continue to battle multiple wildfires across Southern California today. One of the largest is the Sandy Fire, which erupted in Simi Valley Monday morning. There are at least 4 additional fires burning in the counties surrounding Los Angeles. Many people have been forced out of their homes as firefighters work to contain these flames. You have Reed Binion with more.
It was surreal, to be honest. I've never had it so close to home.
Evacuation orders and warnings continued Tuesday as the Sandy Fire torched parts of Southern California for a second day. The blaze burning in Simi Valley, northwest of Los Angeles, started as a fast-moving brush fire Monday. According to CAL FIRE, it had grown to roughly 1,700 acres as of Tuesday night and was just 5% contained. Among the other blazes scorching Southern California, the Verona Fire in Riverside County, which officials said had burned more than 400 acres by Tuesday night, with a firefighter suffering minor injuries. There's also the Bain Fire in Riverside County. CAL FIRE said it stood at more than 1,300 acres as of late Tuesday. Another fire in San Diego County charred 1,000 acres.
And in that story, you just saw this video from the Verona Fire. It shows what is known as a smoke devil, a spinning column of hot air, smoke, and ash created by intense wildfire heat. As superheated air rises rapidly, cooler air rushes in and begins to rotate, forming a tornado-like vortex that can spread flames and embers dangerously fast. And check this out right here. The Coast Guard rescued a 67-year-old sailor after his sailboat struck rocks along one of California's Channel Islands last Friday. The man actually used flares to burn SOS into the ground. You saw it there, which helped rescuers find him. Investigators believe those flares sparked a wildfire, though, on that island. And cleanup efforts continue across the plains after dozens of reported tornadoes destroyed homes. The damage is extensive in many communities, but remarkably, there are no reported deaths or life-threatening injuries. But states of emergency still exist in some towns as residents are assessing the damage and plan to rebuild their lives. Morgan Ostrom has details.
The city has declared a disaster, posting on Facebook saying no donations are needed yet and emergency services are short-staffed. Chance Brueggemann recounting what it was like during the storms, calling the aftermath almost apocalyptic.
I did the old Midwestern thing. When you heard the sirens go off, I went out, looked at the sky, and could see some rotation above the house. Actually, the west side was blue, while the east side was gray. It was very bizarre and ominous. And once I started seeing tree limbs coming down in my backyard, I knew it was time to take shelter.
Joseph Dunn said the storm came from nowhere after getting married Saturday. Despite the unsuspecting honeymoon, Dunn's spirits were high.
It's always a good community for something like this. Everybody gets together and kind of makes the community stronger type of deal, but it'll be good.
Northeast is facing one more day of summer-like heat before a cold front will make it feel more like March. Temperatures will once again be in the mid-90s in Richmond, D.C., Philly, New York, Hartford. It's 3 straight days of these temperatures, basically. It's all thanks to a Bermuda high parked over the western Atlantic, but that will all change later this afternoon and evening as the cold front moves in. Highs tomorrow in most of these cities will be only in the low to mid 60s. Well, heat records fell as far north as Maine. In Portland, Tuesday's high of 92 degrees broke the old record of 86, which was set back in 1949. It's also the hottest May temperature in 9 years. Now, many people, as you see there, headed to the beach to catch some rays, but most stayed out of the water. The temperature at the beach was 49 bone-chilling degrees. Sarah Congi has more on the New England heat wave.
The lead up to Memorial Day is a busy time for crews with earthworks, preparing properties for summer's unofficial kickoff.
I always say anything's better than snow, but this is a bit ridiculous. All right, you guys enjoy, imbibe.
Staying hydrated is one of the ways crews cope with 90-degree temperatures.
Check in with your crew. If you see anybody slowing down, say, hey, do you need an additional break? Do you need to go sit in the truck? Go get in the shade. Do I need to go pick you up a cold drink or something? But we always try to make sure there's water on site.
Workers with Boston Solar installing panels on a roof say temps are 20 to 30 degrees hotter for them.
So unfortunately, on a day like today, it's probably about 120 degrees off the roof because the sun reflects off that dark shingle and off the solar panels itself.
The company takes steps to ensure no one overheats.
Come down, get hydrated, sit in the air conditioning, cool down at least once every hour.
A surprise along a Rhode Island beach. Folks who were there to bask in all this hot weather found themselves marveling at a shark. Maddie Hemsch has the story.
It's really unusual. Is that really a fin?
Pretty unique, actually. Poor beagle shark came in by Salty Brine State Beach and caused a pretty big stir.
As Rhode Islanders flocked to the beach to soak up the warm weather, dozens spotted a nearly 7-foot poor beagle shark that was looking to escape it.
They love colder waters. The waters are getting a little warmer, so that shark's about to leave.
John Dodd with the Atlantic Shark Institute says the animal was likely headed north, but only made it up to Billington Cove in Wakefield.
It's pretty rare to have a shark of this size and this type go in this far into the pond,
where it ultimately beached itself in Ken O'Keefe's backyard.
I could definitely see that it was a shark. I came back, I woke my wife up because I wanted to make sure I had a witness here and nobody thought I was losing my mind.
O'Keefe says he and his neighbors watched the shark thrash around in the shallow marina, swimming in circles.
Maybe ended up on the rocks, got stuck a little bit too long.
And saw that it was, confused or struggling. Took my kayak out there at one point, but I wasn't brave enough to really get too close to it.
According to Dodd, poor beagles are less dangerous than related species like great whites, so there wasn't a big risk to the public.
We were kind of hopeful that it would find its way out and turn around. Unfortunately, it didn't do that, so at the end, not a good story for the shark.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association is performing a necropsy to determine the shark's official cause of death.
And in western Washington, more than 40 beaches are undergoing testing to make sure the water is safe for swimming. Stella Sun reports the routine testing will take place through Labor Day.
Even on a cloudy day, Washingtonians still flock to the beach.
I think it's a nice day to be out here. We're just splashing around in the creek here, picking up seashells, making sand castles, just all the fun things that the beach has to offer.
Some stay in the sand, while others take the plunge.
Jumping in the water and regretting it thoroughly right now.
As more people are jumping in the water,
so we're testing for a fecal bacteria called Enterococcus.
Weekly or bi-weekly testing for fecal bacteria contamination from humans or animals is now underway at 46 beaches around western Washington.
So we focus on high-risk, high-use beaches, so the ones that are really most popular in the counties.
The State Department of Ecology and the Department of Health partners with 12 counties and the Makah tribe in western Washington. The tests are done to try and prevent anyone from taking a dip from getting sick.
This bacteria can cause illness. It causes skin rashes, stomach issues. It can cause ear and eye infections and upper respiratory infections as well.
We're going to go shower after we, get out.
Yellow warning signs are posted when bacteria levels don't meet safe swimming standards.
I think it's a good thing to pay attention to. It's something that we'll want to take a look at those reports as parents who are concerned for the health of our kids.
Tick bites are surging across the U.S. Health experts say infected ticks can cause Lyme disease in humans. According to the CDC, emergency room visits from tick bites have reached a new high because of warmer temperatures. In April, the Northeast saw the biggest surge in tick-related ER visits, followed by the Midwest. And coming up on the National Weather Desk, songbird populations are on the decline. We'll show you ways that you can help them rebound, and we're going to help you better understand urban heat islands.
I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with Look the Northeast. We're tracking the chance for showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. That chance is greatest down in southern New England, where there is the chance for isolated severe storms. Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, those areas stand the greatest chance for getting some severe storms today. High temperatures will make into the 80s and 90s again. Western parts of New York, you're seeing some improvement during the course of the afternoon. That's all courtesy of a front moving through. That front will swing through during the late day hours. That's 4:30 with some late day showers and storms.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Bailey. Here's a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. A strong front moving through the afternoon, bringing numerous showers and thunderstorms. We'll see the rain chances lingering into your Thursday as well. That threat for a couple severe thunderstorms will be possible throughout your Wednesday afternoon, but Thursday it looks just like widespread rainfall, which is badly needed given the drought. Temperatures taking a dramatic dive from 80s and 90s. We may be stuck in the 50s most areas going into your Thursday afternoon.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski with a look at your forecast across the southeast. Wednesday afternoon, most of the region is nice and hot with temperatures in the upper 80s, close to 90 in a few spots, but a little further west, cooler air moves in, and western Tennessee into parts of Arkansas, highs only in the 70s. That'll be kind of nice. Skies are going to be mostly sunny off Wednesday with a front boundary that develops will bring some showers and thunderstorms across parts of the deep south. Rainy season in Florida brings a few thunderstorms along the west coast. Could see lower rain chances, though, into Thursday morning.
The National Weather Desk.
And now to Florida, where a beach renourishment project is aiming to protect sea turtles. Tiffany Rizzo has that story.
Here in Palm Beach, the clock's ticking on a massive beach renourishment project.
It's late. Usually it's done by now.
But rough surf and stormy weather in March and April put crews way behind. Now they're working 24/7 to try to finish before environmental restrictions tied to sea turtle nesting season, which could force work to stop. Palm Beach neighbor Wayne Arcus says you can already see a big difference in the areas where crews have finished the work. Before, erosion had gotten so bad, waves were pushing far up the beach.
The water was all the way up into the bushes.
Town officials say they expect to complete most of the project, but some small residential sections of beach near El Bravo Way may still not receive new sand before the current deadline. Officials say those areas could see some relief over time as sand naturally moves south along the shoreline. And while the project has meant temporary beach closures, detours, and active construction, officials say this stretch of Midtown Beach is especially vulnerable to erosion because of its location near the Gulf Stream, which is why this beach is renourished every 6 to 8 years. Neighbors say with hurricane season quickly approaching, they're hoping crews can finish as much of the project as possible for the next big storm.
It's a little concerning because if you're not got a good foundation, you're going to lose it all.
Well, parts of Texas are like a tinderbox in the state's panhandle where strong winds, low humidity mean perfect conditions for any spark or small fire to quickly grow and then to spread. Drew Powell takes us to a ranch where owners had to battle wildfire flames on their own.
I'm standing in Randall County on the grounds of the Bo and Melanie Hartman Ranch, where for 3 days they had to fight wildland fires.
We probably lost a good 500 bales, and so that put us out feeding all winter, and we got no grass now, so it's going to be a while before we get replenished.
It can be hard to move the livestock because where are you going to put them? If it's surrounded by pasture land, it's going to burn, and the fire was moving at such a rapid pace, so we pushed them to the north and put them on another rancher's plowed field.
You know, you rely on this hay for times of drought and winter, and when you lose that, you know, your backup food supply for your cattle is gone.
When two fires merged into one, that only stretched the resources even thinner.
We got water from other people's places to refill, and so we've refilled this tanker 3 or 4 times while we were trying to put it out. Most of the resources, we were the only ones here that were left to fight that fire, and then you have spot fires that come back, and so we were fighting spot fires.
Once this region receives the first substantial amount of rainfall for this year, that allows producers to be able to breathe a sigh of relief as they know regrowth is underway.
And listening to birdsong can be a pleasant experience, but in recent decades, the population of some songbirds has been decreasing. Meteorologist Ryan Munn spoke to an expert to find out what we can do to help save them.
A songbird, like a blue jay, a cardinal, or a dove, are very colorful birds that love to sing and chirp. Unfortunately, in recent decades, their population has been decreasing.
The Cornell Lab in Wild Birds Unlimited started a project to help the songbirds survive. 30% of the population has decreased since 1970, and that's heartbreaking.
There are ways we can take the initiative to save them, and that's what Wild Birds Unlimited in Scarborough is aiming to do.
So we help people by backyard bird feeding. We help them purchase products to help them feed the birds. We have amazing food that's high quality and pesticides are not used.
Along with feeding them the right food, you can also transform your backyard into a natural habitat.
Bird-friendly habitat is planting native shrubs, native trees, providing water, providing a place for shelter. They can build nests in the trees. It also has bugs in it, which is what they love to eat too.
Along with planting native trees and shrubs, you'll want to pay close attention to what you're putting down on your lawn.
Pesticide can get into the bird's food and kill the bird.
Along with potentially killing the birds, it can kill the prey that the birds feed on.
This week marks 46 years since the eruption of Mount St. Helens triggered vast devastation. Meteorologist Mitchell Combs tells us more about volcanoes and how they can cause devastation miles from that blast site.
While many Montanans might immediately think of Yellowstone, experts say a major eruption there is highly unlikely anytime soon. Instead, attention is turning west to a chain of volcanoes with a much higher chance of activity. Stretching more than 700 miles from British Columbia to Northern California, the Cascade Range is home to some of the most well-known volcanoes in North America. This includes Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier, and Mount Hood. These volcanoes formed on the Cascadia subduction zone and remain active today. A typical eruption of the volcanoes found in the Cascades begins with a massive explosion sending ash and rock known as tephra high into the atmosphere. This is followed up by lava flows and one of the most dangerous types of volcanic events, pyroclastic flows. These superheated waves of gas and debris race down a volcano's slopes at incredible speeds. With temperatures over 600 degrees Celsius or over 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, this is hot enough to destroy nearly everything in its path. Another major hazard of volcanoes are lahars, fast-moving mud flows made up of water and volcanic debris. In addition to the immediate devastation, volcanoes can produce high levels of dangerous gases such as sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, which can harm us. In some cases, the release of high amounts of sulfur dioxide can impact the global climate by lowering global temperatures. But one of the most far-reaching impacts of a volcanic eruption is the ash. Fine, abrasive, and easily carried by the wind, ash can travel hundreds, if not thousands of miles. It can damage aircraft, bury crops, and make roads nearly impossible to navigate. For many Montanans, that's not just a hypothetical scenario. This is a real significant possibility and has happened in the past. When Mount St. Helens erupted on May 18, 1980, about 540 million tons of ash fell over an area of more than 22,000 square miles during the mountain's 9 hours of vigorous eruptive activity. Ash blanketed parts of western Montana. Locals I spoke with recall the experience vividly. They remember the skies darkening and the ash falling like snow. Our own Laurel Staples recounts her experiences in Polson.
We knew it was coming, and I was right along the west shore of Flathead Lake at my family home with my parents, and we kept stepping outside watching for it, and pretty soon you could see it coming, and it was like a wall of white, kind of a gray white. It was very eerie, and then the flakes started coming down. We were told to stay indoors. I think it was a couple of days, and then we started to venture outside and sweeping off the deck, and a thick layer of ash on everything. We were a little worried about vehicles and starting those vehicles up again and making sure that they're running, the ash doesn't get in. And we were also, it was such a historic event. We were scooping up the ash in jars to keep as, I guess, mementos from this event.
As we head to break, we take in views of the Seattle skyline.
Well, a very good Wednesday, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. Dry weather across the central part of the plains, but still dealing with some lingering rain across the Ohio Valley for the day today. Tomorrow, we're going to start to get some of that rain out to the far west to start moving its way in for Thursday, and we're starting to get into a bit of a wet pattern for Friday and the weekend, with most of the Midwest picking up some rain there on Friday. It lifts a little closer to the Great Lakes by the weekend.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Alex Garcia. Here's a look at your regional weather. Nice and cool up north. Not much rain showing up, with the exception of Little Rock and back over into Shreveport and into Houston. Corpus, most of it up, moving out toward the east. Cold front came through earlier. That provided a trigger for some rain. That will continue to slide down. There'll be more rain down into South Texas, into Louisiana. Temperatures today will be slightly cooler. I'm meteorologist Alex Garcia. That's a look at your regional weather.
Well, hi there, everybody, and a good Wednesday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. West Coast looking like the best coast, at least if you don't like a lot of heat paired with humidity, because we warm up today, but it will be a drier heat in the City of Angels and on down to San Diego. Upper 70s sounds just right around Reno, doesn't it? And back to 94 out of Phoenix. It'll be a little cool around Jackson Hole, parts of Wyoming, with some freeze warnings as we head into the morning time frame. And that's the scene from here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
And have you ever felt like urban areas or cities are hotter than more rural locations? Well, you're not wrong. It's because of the urban heat island effect. Meteorologist Lindsay Storrs took to Instagram to explain what it is. Take a look.
So let me explain it to you. Within cities, we've got lots of cars, we've got lots of buildings, all these things that emit more heat that you don't have as much of out in the suburbs and in the rural areas. You've also got all the concrete within the city as well, and those rooftops, all of which emit a lot of heat. The concrete on the ground, that reduces the surface moisture as well. And then you've got less trees in the city as well, which of course creates less shade heat and less evapotranspiration, which can help it to be cooler in more rural areas. So when you add all of this up, the city can actually be anywhere from 3 to 7 degrees warmer than more rural areas, and that's why it's called an urban heat island.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great day, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.